мне очень тепло, это плюс 9.
March 2023, Friday nights in Samara, one of the largest cities of Russia. Recently here living almost 1.2 million residents. Well, today at night, the nights which was like the real night from Thursday to Friday, I flew another 1,700 kilometers southeast from St. Petersburg in order to bring you the new content. Samara, another destination in the frames of my weekly road trips around the beautiful country of Russia. Hello everybody, my name is Sergey Baklikov and this is Baklikov Live. Today from Samara. I was making the live stream in the morning, now making the live stream at night, Friday nights. Today we saw some kind of the regular working day routine on Friday morning, but now it's more like a chilling time of a Friday weekends. Well, normally I think I could start this live stream from the place of the confluence of Volga River and Samara River, but I was checking it now, and now it's just like all you will see is just a black screen, okay? Because now there is no any lights, but I did that in the morning. In the morning I started from the Volga River, our greatest river of Russia, which begins in the northwest in Tver region and goes all the way until Astrakhan and even more to the south to Caspian Sea. But now, so I decided, once now you can see nothing there, it makes more sense to start from something like a 0 kilometer points. It's the stela of the foundation of this city. It tells that Samara was founded in 1586. This is the very center. It's the corner of Kuibyshev streets and Leningradsky streets. Leningradsky streets, that is the walking streets, a local walking streets, and the Kuibyshev streets. It's named after Valerian Kuibyshev, one of the most significant Soviet politicians who lived here in Samara. He was murdered in 1935, and he was as significant as if the whole city was named after him in the Soviet periods, all the way up to 1991. Only when USSR collapsed, Kuibyshev was renamed back to Samara. And Samara, it's like a real historic name of the city. It is named after the river which is known here as Samara yet since at least 921. So it's like means the 10th century, because they have found the mention about that in the notes of one of the Arabic travelers. Let me tell you that I absolutely love the historic Samara. It's a really big center here, and it's all preserves, and especially it looks awesome from 2018, because Samara was one of the cities which has hosted the games of World Cup 2018, World Cup which was in Russia. Remember the several games of World Cup 2018 were here on Samara Arena. So this is the stela. Here it is said that the city was founded in May 1586 by the order of the Tsar Fyodor Ivanovich. Tell you that Fyodor Ivanovich, this is grandfather of Peter the Great, because Fyodor got a son, Mikhail Fyodorovich, Tsar Mikhail Fyodorovich. Mikhail got the son Alexei Mikhailovich, and Alexei got the son Peter Alexeyevich, Peter the Great, Peter the First. Okay. Well, it was founded as the fortress. Traditionally, as most of the old Russian towns, it was founded on the bank of Volga River as the fortress, in order from one side to control the waterway through Volga River, so-called Middle Volga region. The fragments of the Volga waterway from Kazan to Astrakhan is from one side, from another side, in order to defend the border of those days Russia from the invasions of, and I would say attacks of the nomads from the steppes. Steppes are not far from here. Actually, we are relatively not far from the territory of Kazakhstan here. We are now, well, technically in the southeast, actually. Something what we call like a southeast. Okay, guys. Well, I think now I gotta go all that way through Kuybyshev streets, the main streets of the historic city center. Konisi, Nicholas Romanov, Maria Romanova, Ashok Potsu, Yusta Foster, Tina Wetzel, Sherry Vasquez, Irene R, Jimmy Hotz Garage, Goodfellas, Silvana Hore, Zelenograd the Best, Pure Dance Radio UK. I'm saying hi to everybody. Anna Bilabuono. Hi guys, George Verdes. Okay, join me. It's now already a different flavor, not what it was in the morning. In the morning it was more like a daily routine, you know, just morning, just people going to work, because Friday morning it's still a working day, but now everybody's already chilling and getting into the weekend mode. So yeah, recently I decided that I will coming to the towns on Friday, not on Saturday, because look, when I was coming on Saturdays, I already told you, in the Saturday mornings I was like, you know, I mean, like a ghost, or like just an idiot, like the only idiots walking around the city along with communal workers. Today I've been asked, who are the communal workers? I mean, those ones who are, you know, taking care about the streets while everybody's sleeping. This is the place called Benjamin. It's the breakfast here. Benjamin Cozy Cafe. Here used to be, they claim that in the end of 19th century, here used to be the best restaurant in the city, the restaurants of Ivanov brothers. Well, really here in the center of Samara, you will see a lot of pre-revolutionary architecture. You know, this is how the Russian town looks like, that one which is never was affected by World War II. Samara was far enough from the western parts of Russia, from the front lines, and was never affected. More than that, it has got actually its developments in the years of World War II, because so many enterprises, they were moved to Samara. Not only the fabrics and factories that were producing the weapons and ammunition, but also the stuff for aviation and for the space. But yet the government, diplomatic and cultural things. For example, here was evacuated the Supreme Council of the USSR, Верховный Совет СССР, Supreme Council of USSR. This is the pre-revolutionary bank, the building of the pre-revolutionary bank here. Whoa, looks awesome. Then here was evacuated from Moscow like so many consulates of the countries, different countries, and a big cultural, if I can say so, enterprises like the Moscow Film Studio, and Bolshoi Theater. Yes, like the whole collective of Bolshoi Theater, together with the symphony orchestra of Bolshoi Theater and their conductor Samuil Samas. Also in 1941 here was evacuated Dmitry Shostakovich, one of the greatest composers of Russia ever. Dmitry Shostakovich, back then he was in the sieged Leningrad, and there he, being under the impression of the war and the siege of Leningrad, started composing the 7th Leningradskaya Symphony, which is consisted of 4 parts. 3 parts he composed, yes, being there in Leningrad, but he finished his symphony being here in Samara. Back then it was called Kuybyshev, as I told you. And you know what? I mean, he's got lucky that at the same time here was evacuated the Bolshoi Theater and its symphony orchestra. And let me tell you that, in fact, the Bolshoi Theater, it's like the Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg. Bolshoi Theater in Moscow, it's like Bolshoi Theater. Bolshoi Theater in Moscow is like a Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg. And the symphony orchestra is like one of the most professional orchestras. And he was able right here, right in Samara, in the local opera and ballet theater, to start the rehearsals, or should I say repetitions. And then at the 5th of March 1942, they are already made the premiere, the very first premiere of the 7th Symphony of Dmitry Shostakovich. Then it moved to New York and London, Moscow, and only in August they were able to bring it to the besieged Leningrad, where the musicians of the radio committee, Leningrad Radio Orchestra, conducted by Karl Eliasberg, they were able to perform that at the 9th of August 1942. Unofficially, it was like the second capital in the years of World War II, because so many of not only like technical enterprises, but the government, was evacuated here. Hello Lana S, hello a Victor Firefly Roberts. Samara is awesome. And it's pretty warm here today. It was like up to plus 10 degrees today. Today by day people were walking without the hats, and so am I. Hi Roxani Frolova, Oleg Zol, Alex No Snow. Well, as you can see, yes, no snow. Would you expect me to respond to your question? Well, you're asking no snow. Yes, here is no snow. I mean, you see here is no snow, and you're asking no snow. Would you expect me to respond? You really expect me to say that, well, no, here is the snow. But if you don't expect that, then why you ask this? That's an interesting culture. A little square. Hello, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Hello, everybody who continue joining. Hi, swelling freaking sausage. You guys enjoy an amazing Samara. Chuck Meister, Greg Macmillan. Yeah guys, continue joining. Hello to you all. Macaranasia, hello. Tina Wetzel. Welcome to absolutely beautiful Samara with pretty much preserved historic city center. Alex, do you have the US drone in your garage? Are you freaking delusional? Are you freaking delusional? So, I've made 1,700 kilometers. It's almost 2,000 kilometers. In order to bring you Samara, and you have nothing better than asking me this bullshit? Really? You are delusional. Awesome architecture of Samara. I think that I had to take another jacket. This jacket now seems to me pretty heavy. It's already so warm in Samara. Already way warmer than in St. Petersburg. Well, here I'm on 53rd parallel. Way more south than St. Petersburg, which is on almost 60th parallel. Here is a kind of good climate. It's considered as moderate continental. Moderate continental. Jimmy Hat's Garage. Hello once again. Sergey is now a walking bunny. Well, of course it's not that hot, but just would be a little bit more comfortable if I had some lighter jacket. Hi, Alexei Samokhin. Here I've got the super chats, the first super chat in this stream from Platinum Peak. Do you have daylight saving time? Set clock ahead 1 hour in Russia. Well, I definitely know what is daylight saving time, but no, we don't have it. We don't have it anymore. We used to have, but it's already for like 8 or 9 years we don't have it. If I remember well, it was cancelled in the times of, you know, Dmitry Medvedev. So it's like in the periods of like from 2008 to 2012. This is, by the way, the administration of Samara. And that's the children's gallery. This is it. All right. Whoa, what a promo for this guy. McCann. Everywhere is a McCann. McCanntour.com. I never heard about him before. Yeah, so that's why we see so many promo billboards of this guy. So it's like everybody have to know who is McCann, okay? So he's probably like trying the easiest way to get famous. Just now investing a lot of money into the promo. Vinoteka, Wine-Tech. That's where they sell the wine. Weber. That's where they are selling the grill machines. Whoa, now look at this. Now look at this constructivism. That's the house of industrialists. All the constructivism is actually like 1920s, 1930s. The constructivism was the attempt to go away from the classicism of pre-revolutionary era, but it turned to be too brutal. I mean, I like the constructivism, but not when it's like everywhere. It is definitely having as advantages as disadvantages. Johnny Woo, Pan-Asian restaurant. Johnny Woo.
Режиссер Джон Ву.
Restaurant Daddy. Daddy sounds like something like Georgian or Armenian. Alright, this is the Strukov Garden. A part of Gorky Park. Yes, in St. Petersburg they are having Gorky Park too. Is anything more brutal than brutalism? Look, listen to me. I never said that constructivism is more brutal than brutalism. You feel the difference? Constructivism is just having a very strict forms and the concept of like not a single square meter for nothing. All right, here I'm turning to the Red Army. Red Army Street, Krasnoarmeyskaya. One of the bars, the territory of Kakich. Okay, the territory of tap drinks. Another bar. And this is where is a friend of mine, Alexei, is living in that Stalinist building. If you remember, I was staying with my family in his apartment in June 2020. And I remember that's absolutely great and curious moments. So we were walking around Samara for several hours, and then we decided just to come back home. We returned back home and got to the like fifth or fourth floor, the last floor of that residential building. Okay. And I wasn't staying on the balcony because he has the balcony with the view there to Volga River, and I only was like set almost by, okay. And then suddenly, that was a moment I started to see how the tanks are moving by these roads, many tanks and other military vehicles, you know. Why is that happens? Because you remember 2020, that was the year of the COVID madness. And even though Russia was relatively free, yes, like many limitations, but however, we were able to travel, you know, from city to city, no problem, to stay in the hotels, even to go to the restaurants. So that's why I started my road trip. Actually, back then in 2020, Samara turned to be the very first destination in my road trip. You remember Samara? From Ufa we moved to Samara, then Ulyanovsk, Sviazhsk, Kazan, Cheboksary, Nizhny Novgorod, and then this is how we got to Moscow. That was such a mini Volga tour, because in Samara and Ulyanovsk and Sviazhsk and Kazan and Cheboksary and Nizhny Novgorod, they all are located on Volga River. So, but back then in 2020, however, the traditional victory parade on the Red Square, it was postponed, but they decided to make that in the end of June. And you know, the parades are happening not only in Moscow, but in most of other Russian towns, and of course in Samara, being such a huge town. And the thing is, here we're not far from Kuybyshev Square, the largest square in Russia. It's considered the largest square in Russia, and they are making the parades there. And so that was the repetition of that, okay? So I already was saying, you know, bye. And then I see like all that military tactics going. That was cool. This seems like one of the restaurants here. Looks kind of fancy in this historic building. Yeah, you can find that video that is on my Real Russia channel. You need to find the live stream from Samara in June 2020. Hello, Sergey Ivanov. Hello, Stacy O'Shields. Now here I'm gonna turn to Frunze Street, and I will go parallel to Kuybyshev Street now. Now look at this church. It is called the Heart of Jesus. Yeah, I have this. Which is like always the accounts with my name it is. So Kuybyshev sounds more Russian. Why did they have to change the name to Samara? It's such a shame. No, it's you a shame. It's you a shame. You hurry up to talk about something you are completely not aware of. Now, in fact, okay, let's look at this technically. Now, in fact, all the information that you have is that it used to be called Kuybyshev, now called Samara. And just for you, Kuybyshev sounds more Russian than Samara, and for the reason that it is in Russia, so it must be called more Russian. But you are forgetting the fact that it was called Samara since the very beginning. It was founded as Samara. It was called Samara when the Russian Tsar Fyodor Ivanovich made an order to build the fortress here on the bank of Volga River. And that was called Samara because it is constructed on the confluence of Volga River and Samara River. Samara. Well, Volga, it's like a Russian-wide river, and Samara, it's a local river. And it is known as Samara at least since 10th century. Maybe even more, but like the only, the real evidence, the proof, the documents about it, we have from as early as 921. 921, okay? And so now, it was renamed back to its original name. And you're calling it a shame? So that's the problem. That's the problem of so many people. They are discussing about something. They don't have even a minimum of information. You are knowing, like, you now picked up only a few facts, then mixed with your opinion, with your imagination about how are the Russian towns have to be named, and that's it. And you're already saying that this is the shame. So now, in fact, you are delusional. You better don't discuss. You better do not discuss something was you don't have enough of information. And you need not to forget 60 nationalities. And you don't freaking have to say, you don't have to freaking say that, well, that name sounds more Russian. And it's a shame that they changed that to Samara. I don't know, maybe for the reason you're not living, you don't feel that, but here in Russia, I mean, it's in our blood that already for centuries, we are living with so many different peoples. I mean, in terms of the nationalities and the whole ethnic groups. Hello, Bridge and Tunnel Scooter Club. Orthodox Christian Church, but also here you can find the Lutheran churches and Catholic churches and the mosques, and also not far from here there is how it's called, Jewish church. Continue walking all the way through Frunze streets. I'm walking all the way. I'm walking all the way. Hello, Neil McDonald's. Yes, synagogue. Yes, Irene, thanks so much. Now, here is the residential building where was born Eldar Rязанов, one of the most significant Soviets and Russian movie directors. Yeah, he really filmed so many hits. So many hits. People still love and watching the Russian TV channels, showing them all the time. Here is the consulate. No, it's not a consulate, it's just a flag of Samara. I was thinking here is the consulate. Some countries' consulates. Well, in the years of World War II, there was a lot of consulates of so many different countries evacuated from Moscow. And that is the Philharmonic, Samara Philharmonic. As I told you before, in all, even middle-sized towns in Russia, the culture is big. So of course it's big in Samara, because Samara is one of the largest cities of Russia. Sergey, would you do a video one day about top 20 Russian films? Well, maybe. I remember once I did the video about like top 10 or 12, it turned to be 12 of classical Russian novels, writers. Maybe I will take care about the video like that as well. It's like my top, at least my top of like a Soviet or Russian movies. Okay, swelling sausage. Did the cute waitress talk you into sausages today? No. Shelly Vasquez, hello Shelly. I continue walking all the way through Frunze Street. It's the street that goes parallel to Kuybyshev Street. You see, I'm walking. I will try to walk like at least 4 or 5 streets today. So you don't tell me that I show only the best. Not only the stone buildings are preserved here, but such a 2-storied wooden buildings too. It's like a multi-flat residential buildings. But it seems like nobody's living here now. However, not demolished, so waiting for a general renovation. You know, now they have a programs for the businessman. It's like no rental for many years in case if you will take one of such an old buildings and will renovate them. The problem is that such a renovation gonna be expensive, because these are usually the monuments of architecture, and you can't you can to maintain, and that's just the way you can or the way you want, okay? But if you do everything the way, I mean, like in the right order, in the right way, then you can do business there to open up your cafe, restaurant, club, hookah place, or maybe even the business center. And for like several years, you will not pay any rent there. Let me tell you that if you will come to Samara, if talk about this huge historic city center, well, you will enjoy every corner of it because it's absolutely preserved. I don't see any modern buildings here at all. That is a great Erker bay window. In Russian language we call it on German manner Erker. Yes, in the pre-revolutionary Russia they loved the Erkers. I mean, it's a corner of buildings like this. Erker, bay window. Yes, it's always expensive to properly restore historic buildings, I don't know. Especially if even the windows you will making not of plastic, but like the real wooden frames. Сейчас занят. Я занят сейчас. Another Z bar. That's how it's called. The bar with the music, live music. These musicians seems like or just finished or about to begin the performance. What's up, man? Well, the time is almost 9 o'clock, so I don't know if they finished or they just about to begin. Europe. Торговый центр. The mall called Europe. Perfume house. varianty, Silvana Hori. Continue joining. Hi, Stranger Sounds. Look, this is called pelman. Pelman. I guess pel, that's for pelmeni, dumplings. Pelman. That's the way to play over the name for the dumplings place. Pelman. Let's see. Oh yes, yes. You see that guy? It's definitely about dumplings. Shawarma. Oh look, just they call in this place they call shawarma as a shawarma, just like in St. Petersburg. And here they claim they are making halal shawarma. Halal. You know what does it mean? You know what does it mean? Halal. It means that the meat there, it's like the meat which is blessed by the Muslim imam, like a Muslim priest. But in fact, it's like all the same meat. The whole hookah shop, magazin kalyanov. Kalyan, that's hookah. And vapes and POD systems. I don't even freaking know what is POD system, for fuck's sake. All right, look, here we are now. Again, intersects Leningradskaya streets. That is a walking street. Of Samara. So we have started from there, and we are already like made the circle around these streets. So the local Arbat. The thing is, the first really famous walking street, that's the Arbat Street in Moscow. And that's how now all the local streets, all the walking streets all over Russia, people just calling like they can say, oh, this is like our local Arbat. And everybody understands that it's just a walking street. Well, traditional walking streets with a lot of restaurants, bars, bakeries, cafes, museums. AP, hello to you, and thank you for gifting the membership. Druga, congratulations with getting the membership. Membership gives an access to some extra content, to watching the replay of like some of my live streams, which are becoming not available after the streams are done. But the main thing is that when you joining the memberships, you are supporting exactly these road trips, because 100% of the revenue from the memberships I'm investing into the trips like this. So continue joining the membership of my channel. Now you know for sure that, well, joining the membership, you are investing into the content that you watch and like. If, of course, if you like it. Only for the last 3 months, I was taking you to Moscow several times, Kazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Великий Novgorod, Vyborg, Novosibirsk, Volgograd, Chelyabinsk, Yekaterinburg, Yaroslavl, Pskov, Omsk, and now recently to Samara, and of course last week to Ufa. Platinum Peaks, Sergei, are these classic buildings made of bricks with a veneer to make them look smooth, or are they solid concrete? Well, this is like really hard to say for me. I'm kind of educated in terms of like how to determine the architectural style by the appearance, but in the same time I'm not that much educated in terms of how exactly it was constructed. And to say honest, it's just like not really interests me, because, well, I kind of not really interested how exactly it was built. I am interested how it looks. And all I know that no matter how it's constructed, usually all these old buildings, they are really strong. They are really strong. Like now, funny how, let's say, the 1950s, those Stalinist residential buildings are still having a high value in the market and still in a good shape in the moment, while the Khrushchev buildings, which was after the Stalinist era, 1960s, 1970s, they are now having a way less value on the market. Way less value. And more than that, let's say in Moscow, they are already demolished them, while it's pretty seldom they demolish the Stalinist buildings. And as you can see, these buildings are even older, way older, and nobody trying to demolish them. Well, however, yes, like some of pre-revolutionary buildings, however, yes, in a bad shape. But usually that used to happen back in 1990s, even in the beginning of 2000s, when dirty politicians intentionally was not taking care about them in order to get them until the emergency condition, and then to say, hey, now this is a dangerous building. This is a dangerous building, and it's almost unrepairable. We need to demolish that, and they demolish that, and then construct a frigging multi-storied residential building there. But now it's good that little by little, but the Russian government is taking care about this problem. I think here is still enough of like kind of dirty politicians trying to replace the old pre-revolutionary buildings with some modern crap just because it's profitable. The thing is, most of the pre-revolutionary buildings, you see, they are located in the historic city centers, which is usually very expensive land. Is Samara part of the Republic of Bashkortostan of Russia? No, Samara is a part of Samara region, but it's bordering with Bashkortostan. Czech Republic Bakery, Tradelniks. The police point. This is the police point. Police taking care. Some street art on the building. It's the Soviet days murals. Hi, Sergei Mikhailov. It seems like those girls are already high. Are you high? Are you high? Okay, so now this is where is the end of walking street. Not too big, not too small. Hi, Robert Lovendi. Good evening from Samara. The time is 9:09. By the way, let me remind you, I used to sell this in the morning today. We are in Moscow +1 time zone. So while here it's 9:09, in St. Petersburg it's 8:09. Raymond Duke, have you heard English in Samara? I rarely hear English in Penza. Well, I'm for the first time in Samara for the last 3 years. So I had a very little chance to see English speech. So of course, recently I never heard an English speech.
Картошку из погреба достать. Вообще все, что касаемо хозяйства.
Хачапурная. Хачапури place. Хачапурия. They are making хачапурис there. Естествознание. Wow. I'm sure this is like men's club, yes. Because they are beginning just at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Men's club. Естествознание, it's like natural learning. A very well-known brewery all over Russia, Zhigulyovskaya. And this is a firm Zhigulyovsky beer store. That is the brewery from here, from Samara. They have the brewery here since yet the pre-revolutionary times. And it's interesting how it is still operating as the brewery, a huge brewery. That would be my favorite store in Samara. Well, I think that beer is kinda nice and cheap once it's local. Zhigulyovskaya is one of the oldest Russian beer brands. I mix, yes, and that's what I just also marked. I'm now walking in direction of opera and ballet theater in Samara. Yes, that one where Dmitry Shostakovich made the very first premiere of the Seventh Leningradskaya Symphony. The symphony which has changed the way of World War II. Gave a lot of power and motivation to the Soviet people and Soviet army. So already for over an hour I'm walking non-stop, but you see, we still see all the old architecture, all the old buildings. Oh, you saw that? We now saw the black guy, and even black guy was now speaking Russian. Usually when you see here the black guys, though they are the students. And usually they are like the real Africans, not the Afro-Americans. black guy in Russia. Oh my. And notice, not just like in St. Petersburg or in Moscow, which is like kind of frequent thing, but in Samara. Let me tell you that even though Samara is a great city, but it's not the most popular town where people trying to relocate. Well, here's the students. It's 100%. Yeah, Afro-Russians. Yeah, I believe many of them are becoming Afro-Russian. I believe many are staying to live in Russia. I've heard such a story. Beauty sister, beauty salon, beauty studio. And bar. And they yet have a bar. Whoa, you see? So it's like they are drinking some wine or something, maybe Aperol Spritz, while taking care about their beauty. Hi Manjuna, brown Indian man in Russia. Yes, many Indians here too. Many Indians in Ufa, if you remember, mostly study in the Bashkir State Medical University. Hybrid. Oh, it seems like the first modern buildings that we see. For the last hour. Roxani, you're welcome. Fancy beauty place. Not sure I want my hair done by someone who's drinking. Well, I believe they probably do not allow the workers to drink. But you as a client, you can drink. The restaurant Hot Holland. Not even sure what kind of restaurant is this. Hot Holland. Is there such a thing as the Holland kitchen? Holland cuisine? Robert Lowvendi, where are the Irish pubs? You mean you need the exact addresses? Hi Ryan Maring. Arenda means rental. It looks like hotel. not the residential building. All right, guys. Oh, they got on the roller skates already. Yes. The snow is gone. Guys, here came the time to give the respects to Dmitry Shostakovich. His monument is located here on the territory of the square of the Samara Opera and Ballet Theater, where 81 years ago he premiered his 7th symphony. Why Russian city sucks? You have money. George Goldman. Oh, George Goldman. Always trying to mask his jealousy to Russian cities like Samara with saying vice versa, that Russian cities are sex. Dudes, I now was walking all around the historic city center of Samara. Can you say that you saw something what you can consider as suckering? Damn. Dude, just stop to be jealous. Samara is the great Russian city with a lot of preserved great architecture from 19th, beginning of 20th century. Dmitry Shostakovich, 1906, 1975. There is, it's written, my weapon was the music. And it's really so. It's really so. That freaking Goldman coming here all the time and saying that BS. But we all understand that that's just a jealousy. You need to stop to be jealous. Man, you need to stop to be jealous. Hello, Antonina Fialka. So, here I'm getting to Kuybyshev Square. It's considered as the largest square in Russia, but that's because these squares by the perimeter of the theater, they also consider like a part of that square. So we already see the Opera and Ballet Theater. But we need to get to facade. Okay, I remember how exactly 3 years ago I was coming here by this special invitation from St. Petersburg to Samara for the 78th anniversary of the very first premiere of the 7th Symphony. You can check that out. You can check that vlog yet on my Real Russia channel. Just search for 78th anniversary of the premiere of the 7th Symphony of Dmitri Shostakovich and Samara. And that was unbelievable. Here I came and filmed all the places where Shostakovich lived, hang out, and that was really cool. And that was really cool to meet there the lady who was 10 years when the premiere was happening here, and she was here together with her mom. And 78 years after, she was still alive. Hope she's still alive and pretty active. And she was talking about that, and she was saying that she remembered everything like it was just yesterday. Opera and Ballet Theater. Samara Opera and Ballet Theater. Well, back then it was called Kuybyshev Opera and Ballet Theater. Awesome, awesome, right? Awesome. Awesome. George Goldman, where is people? Is this country for people? No people here. No people. Those are all the ghosts. All the people that we saw today, they are just ghosts. But I saw you have a lot of people on Kensington Avenue. What's this bus is all about? The bus like this in St. Petersburg, I saw it was like the bus for the Russian Santa Claus. Is called Ded Moroz bus. Okay, now seems like this is the bus cafe. Okay, cafe bus. Okay, cafe bus. So it's like a coffee bus. Coffee bus, yes, coffee bus lower dash SMR. Yeah. It's an old Lias. Looks awesome. Jan Olaf Johansson sends a very good, generous super chat, an amount of 500 Swedish crowns to go on with great content. Thanks so much. Thank you for supporting my content. These contents is possible thankful to your support. I would not be able to afford it alone. So thanks so much. Continue supporting my channel and join membership, because supporting my channel, you are supporting the real stuff. While other so-called Russian vloggers now anywhere else but Russia, I'm in Russia, and I'm traveling around country as much as never before, bringing you the real stuff. I'm not sitting in my living room, I'm not sitting in my kitchen, I'm not crying. I'm here, I'm doing the real stuff. I'm traveling all around Russia every week. Moscow, Kazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Великий Новгород, Выборг, Новосибирск, Волгоград, Челябинск, Екатеринбург, Ярославль, Pskov, Omsk, Ufa, now Samara, and that is just for the last 3 months. You see, I'm making the real stuff. Hello, Anatoly Yakimov. I love the list. Yes, and that is only a small list. It's only the list for the last 3 months. If I will name the list for the last 3 years, that's gonna be way longer. Because that's gonna be Samara, Ульяновск, Свияжск, Казань, Чебоксары, Нижний Новгород, Moscow, Сергиев Посад, Переславль-Залесский, Rostov the Great, Kostroma, Yaroslavl, Иваново, Владимир, Суздал, Магнитогорск, Челябинск, Тюмень, Екатеринбург, Перм, Киров, Вологда, Тавтиманово Village, Аша, Миньяр, Сим, Усть-Катав, Бирск, Шихан Mountains, Стерлитамак, Кумертау, Оренбург, Калининград, Выборг, Псков, Ивангород, Териберка Village, Мурманск, Оленегорск, Мончегорск, Апатиты, Кировск, Кемь, Кандалакша, Сегежа, Беломорск, Ижевск, Воткинск, Пенза, Тамбов, Рязань, Саранск, Краснодар, Сочи, Adler, and many more. Петрозаводск, Карела Парк, Рускеала Парк, Киндесово Village, Киллерма Village. A lot. Новосибирск, Омск. Hello, Mark Davis. Hello, Alexander M. Yes, I'm saying hi to you too. Hi, Eliza Bradley. Remember, was walking here in the morning. Guillermo Gonzalez, hello. Hello to you too. You just finished lunch? Okay. But look, it's not necessary telling me about this. Miss Texas G saying that Sergey has the best channel. She is 62 and learning so much. That's really great. That's really great. Always great to hear the words of appreciation, because in fact what I'm doing, I really believe that, well, it's finding the feedback. Otherwise, why the hell I'm doing all this? Hi, greetings from Czech Republic. Thank you. I love your videos and you got amazing sense for architecture. Beautiful. Milana Droku 1972. Thanks. Thanks. And hi to Czech Republic. By the way, funny to say that there was the time here in Samara was the Czech Republic soldiers. Eleanor Lagerholm, dark streets. Well, it's not that dark. I mean, you see that light? Maybe darker on the camera, but, well, I mean, technically it's not dark. Hi, Jimmy Loomer. Alexander Strelnikov. Hello, Alexander. Hi, Hans Mayer. I love Samara. Thank you, Sergey. And hello from Germany. Hi to Germany from Samara. I now was checking the street I'm on. It's called Leo Tolstoy Street. You hear this? Leo Tolstoy Street? Leo Tolstoy, an absolute god. He is the god of not only the Russian but the world literature. Leo Tolstoy. Stefan Garcides, hello to you too, Manchester. What's the temperatures now? My 111. It's plus 4 degrees Celsius. It's really warm. Yesterday in St. Petersburg it was plus 2, almost like plus 4, but felt way colder than here in Samara. By day here was like up to plus 10 was really friggin' hot. Maria and Nicholas Romanov, 5,000 rubles. The most beautiful YouTube channel and comprehensive content, information, stories, history, and the great Mr. the best Sergey. We love and we care. Well, thank you guys. Yes, I know you love and you care. You all the time, significantly supporting my channel. Whoa. And this really means a lot, and that's really helpful. Because you see, the content keep going. The contents keep going all the time. All the time. So Ronald Gaudier is here again, and he's saying that in Abkhazia it's warmer than in Samara. Yeah, but too bad. It's also more boring there than here. Look, in fact, nobody shows more of Russia than I do. Can you show me another YouTuber or, I don't know, TikToker or whatever who shows more than me here in Russia? Non-stop, no cuts, no edits. The bar, which is called Borya, it's like a Boris, crowded bar. Pretty crowded. I see some people asking me about the bar. Maybe I will go to the bar some later, but until this moment I never wanted to go to the bar. You know why? Because I don't want to break the rhythm. I don't want to break the rhythm. I just understand that I still think that, however, most people are interested to see the city, and I don't want to break the rhythm. So it's like I wanna leave that for the end. I wanna leave that for the end. So it's like those who are not interested in seeing me like getting drunk or drinking, like can just to go, knowing that they got all the content, and that's it. That's it. And those who don't mind continue watching, well, you can continue watching. Well, look, friendly wines bar. It's good that it's friendly. It's good that it's friendly. You see, many girls, because girls loves the wine bars, okay? They love sitting and sipping that. They love sitting and sipping that, you know. And now more about beer. They love sipping that freaking wine, or now in Russia it's really popular, Aperol Spritz, Mordini. That bar is of course friendly because mostly the girls there. Usually the girls are not getting as drunk as to become like really aggressive. The world of music, the music shop. Mr. Zero Gravity, go and try girl beer. You know, you don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. You hear me? You hear me, mofo? Молодогвардейская улица. The streets of Young Guard. Lucky Nails. This is the nail studio, and they have a slogan: "Don't panic, do manic." It's like in every controversial situation, just go and do a manicure. Is that what they are trying to say? Hello to Nayan, an Armenian in the United States. Skuratov Coffee. This is a really great chain of the coffee shops, but it's too bad there is only coffee. Go Manic, Sergey Ivanov. Yeah, go Maniac. Don't panic. Go Maniac. Miss Texas, thanks for all great words. Big time. All right, and this is how we are returning to Leningradska. Supposed to be a walking street, but now I saw the car here, and this is really the car. Well, the thing is, these are the residential buildings, and for the residents, well, it's actually allowed driving here in order to park in their yard. But it seems like the first car I recently saw here. Look, it seems like Samara is an early city, because it's only about 10 o'clock here, but not many people on their walking streets. It seems like I had to start at 7 o'clock today. You know, it's truth that in Russia some cities are like early cities where people got used to do the things early, and some cities are like a late cities. For example, St. Petersburg is definitely a late city. But I don't know, maybe everybody's already just in the bars. In this building, it's just a bunch of different cafes and restaurants. As far as I remember, one of the first live IRL streams of Sergey was in Samara several years ago. It was sunny summer day. Yes, I was telling about it. Maria Romanova gifted 5 Baklikov Live memberships. Whoa, thanks so much. Thank you very much, Maria. I mean, out of that great super chat, which you guys already did today, yet gifting the membership for my subs. Vote Jesse, Zurvan Lol, Jeet Singh, Stacy Koo, Denise Antunes. Congratulations. Thank you very much. The restaurants, The Adventures of Shurik. Shurik, it's actually like Alexander. It was a very popular Soviet comedy, 1960s comedy, The Adventures of Shurik, which is still pretty popular. Sergey, what's your favorite city in all of Russia? Well, it's easy. It's St. Petersburg. That's why I'm living there. I mean, really, so far for me, nothing better than St. Petersburg. In fact, Moscow is also great, but different. And many people prefer Moscow more, but it depends on what kind of person you are. I've noticed that more like pragmatic guys, they love business mind guys, they love Moscow, and more like a creative minded guys, the people of arts, they prefer St. Petersburg more than Moscow. St. Petersburg is really tuned in for creativity, especially in the winters. Oh wow, Alexander M, thank you for gifting the memberships too. This is amazing. Hey, it's amazing. Jimmy Lumar, yes, I've been to America. I was in America from New York. It seems the bar there in the basement, Boozer, the family brewery, Boozer. I might will go and check that family brewery, but I don't think that internet is gonna work good in the basement of the pre-revolutionary building. Really? Artist. It's look like there's the whole courtyard with the bars or something. Let me check. Yeah, I love this. It's always like nice when you're finding out such a courtyard where you can get in, and immediately here is like its own little world. What type of city is Samara? Industrial, touristic? So it seems like you never listen to me. Well, this is industrial, not really touristic. But you can't say this is just like an industrial, because this is a very multi-level city. It's one of the largest cities of Russia with over 1.2 million residents. So it's like a different kinds of this city, and industrial and cultural. It's also a great transportation hub. And in terms of the tourists, of course, here is not as much tourists as in Moscow or in St. Petersburg, but well, people are coming here as well. It's only like a 1 hour flight from Moscow. It's only 1,000 kilometers from Moscow. I say only because relatively 1,000 kilometers is not that much in Russia. And it's only like 1 hour flight. All right, look at this. Whoa. We now made a really big circle around the historic city center, and we came to where we have started. The stela to the foundation of the city. The city of Samara. It was founded in May 1586. In memory of that, now here is this stela telling this. Samara, founded in May 1586 by the decree of Tsar Fyodor Ivanovich, grandfather of Peter the Great. I told you that Fyodor got a son, Mikhail Fyodorovich, Tsar Mikhail Fyodorovich. Then Mikhail Fyodorovich got a son, Alexei, Tsar Alexei Mikhailovich, and Alexei got the son Peter Alexeyevich, Pyotr Alexeyevich, you know, more known as Peter the Great, Peter the First, Peter the First Romanov. Yes, dudes. Yes, dudes. Now I'm gonna take you to the Revolution Square. It's not far from here, just one block from here. The Revolution Square with the monument to Vladimir Lenin. Yeah, house without Lenin. By the way, Lenin used to spend a lot of time here in Samara. Lenin was born not far from Samara in the town of Ulyanovsk. Well, now it's called Ulyanovsk because named after Lenin. Lenin, he is, if you remember, originally Ulyanov. So Ulyanovsk, it's named after Ulyanov. Named after the original last name of Lenin. Happy Owl. Recently, a lot of different interesting events are being done for tourists in Samara. This is the decision of the mayor of the city. By the way, I have a personal thanks from the mayor of Samara for my video about the 78th anniversary of the first premiere of the 7th Symphony of Dmitri Shostakovich. Maxim Gorky, one of the most significant writer of the early Soviet days, and the founder of the whole genre in literature called social realism. Meanwhile, it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in Samara. So, going to the Square of Revolution, the square dedicated to the revolution of 1917. This is the meat restaurant, which is called Вообще огонь. It means like, whoa. It's like a total fire. pretty fancy looking restaurant. And here I've got to the Revolution Square. So you guys were really thinking that in Samara we will avoid Lenin? No, no. Lenin is everywhere. Vladimir Lenin, the leader of world proletariats and the founder of USSR. Yes. Nicholas Romanov, thank you very much for gifting another bunch of memberships. Whoa, whoa.